of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hi, it's Ann Perry, and today's topic of discussion is master number 11s in love. So I have created a series of 9 videos for you guys. I wanted to share some tips with you because I know that 11s love partnership. You guys crave intimacy. You crave having really wonderful romantic relationships that are living forever after. And so I want to offer you some really good tips on what to look for and the questions you need to ask yourself before you go and enter into a relationship with a various life path number. So I hope that you'll stick with me and that you'll gain some really good insight into who's a really good fit for you, because you guys deserve the best. All right, so first of all, let's take a look at what does the master number actually need. Unless we know what we need, it's kind of hard to find someone to fulfill that need, right? Likewise, we want to know what the respective life path number is that we're looking at involving ourselves with. So let's take a look at that and find out what their needs are too. So the 11 has a need to control their environment. You guys are very sensitive to energy as a whole, right? And energy can come in the form of color. So the color of the walls, it can come in the form of texture, the texture of the couch that you're sleeping on or sitting on or snuggling on, the sheets that you sleep in, the food that you eat, the music you listen to, just your overall environment. You're very, very sensitive to it. So you need to be able to control that a little bit better. So you need someone who's going to tolerate that. A peaceful and harmonious atmosphere is really important to you. You kind of like a Zen atmosphere to live in and to work in, by the way. You need support so that you can be allowed to explore your creative potential. Remember, the double ones is all about embracing your need to become really confident with your creative potential so that you can inspire other people. You need somebody who's a very loyal partner, because loyalty is really important to you, really, really important to you. Someone who's romantic, somebody who really gets it, who really appreciates romance. Someone who's sensitive to the arts, so someone who might enjoy theater or music, that sort of thing would be a good fit for you. And someone who's really strong, but not too domineering, because you can be really easily offended by someone who's a little too dominant. Okay, so in all fairness, let's take a look at what does the life path number 1 need. So the ones are the leaders. Leaders, what do they need? They need followers. So you got to be prepared to be a follower if you want to hang out with someone who's a leader. So they need partners who can give them praise and support, because even though the ones come across being really bigger than life, they also have their share of insecurities as well. So they need partners who can give them a lot of praise and a lot of support. Their egos are fragile. They can blow up instantaneously if you challenge their ego in any way. So they need to be kind of handled with care a little bit. And they need partners who are really going to support their visions. That's not going to be too hard for you as an 11, because you also have vision. And you're a bit of a dreamer. Well, so are the 11s. So they need a partner who can keep them grounded. The softer, more gentler energy of the 2 that comes from your 11 is somebody that can help to keep somebody a little bit more grounded who is a 1, okay? Because the 1s tend to be a little bit more of a higher vibration kind of thing. So it's sometimes necessary to have a little bit of a calming effect to them, and you're the perfect person to do that. Someone who's going to push them to the limelight. So the 11s don't necessarily like the limelight, but you better be prepared to assist your partner who's an 11 to get to the limelight. So for example, if your partner is a politician, and they're really trying to get into office or whatever, you might be the person who's going to have to kind of gently, quietly push them from behind, and be prepared that you're sort of going to be under the spotlight too, because that's the nature of being a politician's partner. They need someone who's going to give them the space and the time to explore their creative potential. Not a problem for you, because you respect that, because you need it too. So what do each of you bring to the relationship? Well, the master number 11s, you're going to bring compassion. You guys are the most compassionate people out there. You're very, very sensitive. You're spiritual by nature. You're very creative and understanding. You're a great listener, great partner, great counselor, loyal beyond a fault. You're very loyal. You're inspiring. You bring inspiration to the relationship. You're very passionate, romantic, and you have a need for partnership. You really value a partnership, and you need to have somebody around. Life path number 1, on the other hand, they're very driven people. They want to be leaders rather than you guys who kind of prefer to be the follower. These guys really need leadership. So sometimes that's not such a bad thing for you, because you do need someone to exhibit a little bit of leadership in your life, because that's a little bit of a weaker area for you. So they can kind of toe the rope in that area of your relationship. They're very, very creative, very innovative, very competitive by nature. They're initiators. They like to start things. You guys tend to be procrastinators because I think you're afraid that you're not going to get it right, or it's not quite perfect because you're perfectionists. These guys are the ones that will start it, right? So they're innovators, they're initiators, they're very, very high energy, go, go, go all the time. They only know one speed, and that's on. And they can be alone or they can be in a partnership. It really doesn't matter to them. They don't have to have partnership. Where you guys really need partnership, they don't really need partnership. They'll appreciate it, but they don't have that same desire and drive for partnership that you do. They're very confident people for the most part and very ambitious. Okay, so the negative aspects to the 11 and the life path number 2. Now let's just point out here for a second, you know I don't come from a negative mindset, that's just not who I am. But I think if we're going to have our eyes open before we enter into a relationship, we need to see both the positive sides of our person, which I just showed you, and also the negative side. Because you know what, there's a positive and a negative side to each number, and that certainly applies in life path numbers as well. So someone who has a master number 11 is someone who potentially can be very, very sensitive, hypersensitive. They are people pleasers. Okay, they have a real need to belong. Remember, you guys are one of 2 people, and so you need partnership. So you'll be the people pleaser because you don't want to risk being rejected. You give to an excess, so you suffer burnout quite often because you just give, and then you start resenting the fact that all you're doing is giving and everybody else is taking, because you're teaching people that that's okay to do, by the way. And you need partnership. So sometimes you can become a little bit codependent. You can be a little bit smothering, right? Just because of fear of being abandoned. So the smothering aspect can come into it. You might be setting unrealistic standards for yourself. You might be putting the bar so high that you just can't meet the bar. And so you suffer from self-imposed failure because you didn't really set a realistic goal for yourself. And you can suffer from depression because of that. Now, the life path number 1s, because they are 1 and because they want to stand on their own 2 feet, be counted, be seen, be heard, they can be very self-centered towards their goals and towards their lives in general. They can be very hyper-focused on independent goals, meaning that if you as a partnership, the 2 of you together, that goal might not be nearly as important as it is for them to climb the corporate ladder by themselves. They can be highly self-critical. They can be very, very hard on themselves because they are so driven and they expect a lot from themselves, not unlike yourself. Remember, the life path number of 1 is only 1. You have 2 vibrations of the number 1 in your life path number, so keep that in mind. The life path number 1s can have a very quick temper. They have egos that often need to be stroked. So if you're not into stroking egos, you might want to step away from the life path number 1. They can lack self-confidence and might need to be lifted up and supported. And they can be very insensitive to the partner's needs, because if their own needs of being driven to success in their own personal venues aren't being met, then they can become really insensitive to the needs that you're trying to satisfy as well. So, are the 11 and the life path number 1 compatible? Well, let's pause on that just for a second, because I want you to understand that the life path number is only one aspect of compatibility. Okay, myself and my partner, for example, I'm a 7, he's a 9. Typically the 7s and the 9s aren't all that compatible. They're actually a challenging match. But the reason that it works is because our other 3 core numbers are compatible. So we can't just stop at the life path number, but the life path number is the largest core number that we experience looking at a numerology chart. So it's one of the quickest ways to indicate whether you're going to be compatible or not. So, you know, if you really feel like you want to be with somebody, you're really driven to be with this person, you're really drawn to them for some reason, don't discount it just because you're seeing some negative qualities in them, because there could be some other supportive qualities that are going to make that relationship work. Okay, so obviously in this video series I can't cover all the 4 components of the numerology chart, because I'd be here all day and you won't listen to me all that long. So I want to make it short and sweet and give you some really quick things to look at and observations that you can make. So before you get yourself involved in a life path number 1, here's some things you might want to ask. Can I accept that a life path number 1 is likely going to be someone who's driven for success? Is that something that's important to me? They're often focused on their own success and won't have the same need for partnership that you do. Are you going to be okay with that? They'll have a huge need to be creative and will always want to be the leader. Are you going to be okay with that? And they will need you to take care of their ego, as it's really fragile. So they like to be right and have a need to be challenged in this lifetime. Are you up for that challenge? Okay? And so that's it. That is life path number 11 in partnership with life path number 1. Thank you so much for joining me today. I sure hope that you will join me also on my website, AnnPerryNumerologist.com. If you haven't already followed me on Facebook, why not? I'm fun to be with. I'm fun to hang out with. I give you all kinds of great tips on Facebook every single day, something new. And I sure hope that you'll subscribe to my channel because I love to stay in touch. And if by chance you don't know how to figure out a life path number, you can always go to my website, AnnPerryNumerologist.com, because there's a whole article there on how to do it. And you could also visit my YouTube channel, and I'll put the link up there for you as well. And that will explain exactly how to figure out the life path number. Thanks, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.